This is the start of Mount Mathieson walk from Spicers Gap near Arachula, which is not too far from Warwick, about an hour and 15 minutes from Brisbane. Probably hear all the bellbirds making a bell-like sound. So it's just a small track, this one, coming up through here. There's a lot of trees burnt here. I don't know if you can see that tree there was particularly burnt. There's also been a fire here at some point. You might see it on the other trees in the background. But yeah, there's quite a lot of bird life around here. It's quite nice. So we're going to head on the peak. It's not too far, I don't think, not a massive walk. So the roots on this tree are bloody amazing. Look at the size of them. They're nearly up to my chest, or they certainly are up there. They're probably higher. They're higher than me up there. Pretty bloody amazing. I mean, that's over my head, that. Incredible. But you can see the fire damage on these trees here. I think you'll see that. I remember now that it was at the beginning of the year, before all this coronavirus kicked off, there were a lot of fires in this area actually. I remember now, the whole road was blocked off, the main road, for weeks. So that's just squeezing through there. Yeah, so that's where these fires will have come from. That'd been earlier this year. Whew, a little bit out of breath. It's not that steep here, but to following this faint track up the hill, I'm guessing we'll come out of these trees fairly soon, because it looks like it's opening up. So this is just like a little ridge. Can't really see it. It does drop off over that side and over that side, not particularly steeply, but so this is just like a ridge going up. Not really very rainforesty here at the minute, but this is part of a rainforest site. In fact, this is part of the Gondwana rainforest on the east coast of Australia that I think it comprises of about 50 areas of rainforest that make up that a World Heritage area. I think it's something like the largest area of subtropical rainforest in the world. So, don't know if you can see it, it's quite lots of trees. There's a few peaks over here. Not sure what those ones are. Whew, a little bit out of breath. It's not that steep either, bloody hell. You can't really see the peaks here, but that's heading over towards Cunningham's Gap there, which is a really steep bit of road that goes over this great dividing range. Just more fire damage here from what's left of this old tree. That bit of tree probably belongs to that bit I just showed you. So that's Mount Mitchell there. I've been up there a few times. I was going to go up there today actually and try and get the drone and get some footage. It's a cracking view from up there. So that's above Cunningham's Gap. Cunningham's Gap's just here, which is a gap between the hills here. You can see the road snakes down there. Doesn't really look it on there, but it's a really steep road to pull up that one. Trucks go really slow up there. So you can park right just where the gap is here. There's some parking and you can go up here. Or we got Mount Cordeaux over here, this big lump of rock. I've been up there as well. That's quite nice. It's not too hard. That one's quite nice views again from there. Can't really see it, but there's a really nice ridge line that runs off over this way. Pretty nice. Yeah, some nice walks there, and there's a few others that go actually down rather than up, down to the top of some waterfalls and things down there. Yeah, pretty nice. A nice day actually, a lot warmer than I thought it'd be. So the old ridge line narrows a bit here. There's a bit of a drop off, nothing major, although you wouldn't want to fall over it. but it's pretty good. It's a pretty wide path, really. You're not going to fall off it, really, are you? Let's be honest. You probably hear all the trucks in the background going up that Cunningham's Gap. That's the Cunningham Highway. It goes over to Warwick. It's a pretty major road. That was a. You can see why they closed it when there was a fire here. I mean, you can still see all these trees burnt, but the road only runs just down here and up. So you can see why they closed it when there was fires. It'd have just been all across the road, I guess. But yeah, all burnt. It's all coming back though. So there is a ridgeline joins this, but I think it's the undergrowth there's too thick to head up this way to Mount. But yeah, I've forgotten the name of it. That mountain I was talking about before, anyway. So we're just below this steep section here. It doesn't look like the track is heading up there, but I am planning on going up there. Yeah, if the track doesn't, unless it's really overgrown. In which case, I'll not be going up there. Ah, pretty smart. Big cliffs. Nice little crack there. Would have liked to climb that back in the old climbing days. Do a nice lay back on that. Yeah, I reckon you could get a little route up there. Shimmy up there. I don't climb anymore though. Right, in a minute, see where this track's going, but I'm planning on heading up here. Just going to see what happens when we go up the top of this little shoulder here. It might actually go up there, so I'm not going to make things difficult for myself. Ooh, and there we go. The track does head up to this little peak here. I'm not actually sure if this is Mount Mathieson or not. Because there was a little thing back down there saying that little mound of trees you can see there was Mount Mathieson, but I was under the impression it was a bit of a bigger hill than that, a bit higher, like rocky, but I'm not sure. Well, we went up it anyway. We've ticked that off. Look at that view out over the big valley. I think that's the Mathieson Valley, I think. All these mountains are actually part of an old volcano from like, I think it's something like 95 million years ago. Quite a long time ago anyway. Not just last week. So you can still hear the trucks. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. You can see a bit of the road down here coming winding up. So there's a bit of fog in the valley over in the right, way out in the distance out there. It was foggy this morning actually. There's a truck coming up just here. I don't know if you can see that. See how slow he's going. It's just like crawling. It doesn't look steep either from this angle. So we'll be heading on up here, carrying on a bit. Whew, so I'm out of breath again a little bit. Track is starting to get steeper and go up a lot more, so that's what I don't like to see. It's like it gets very steep just there, but a bit of effort, you normally get some nice views, I guess. Hopefully it's not surrounded by trees at the top. Mount Mitchell, that's the one I was talking about. You get where I normally stop is right on the end here to the left. And you literally got that cliff face drops right away. If you look over there, it's a fair drop down. There was someone fell over there earlier this year, I think it was. They had the helicopter on the news rescue, and I think they were okay actually, from what I remember. I don't know how far they went, but yeah, I wouldn't like to bloody fall over there. Well, to be honest, who would? So you're just picking your way through these rocks really, which is pretty good. Bit of scrambling over the top. I think we'll go around that one. Looks like a bit too high to jump down that one. That's better. Just step down here. Getting too old for this shit. Let's go down this little gap here. Hopefully there's no snakes about today. It might be a bit cold for them, but it's there might be. I guess it's quite warm in the sun. This is a weird little bit. This almost like the could be in a wood in the UK here. And these like ferns on the ground. I mean, these probably would be quite a lot higher if it wasn't for this fire. It's nice and cool in here. Gone into the shade a bit. Oh, just seen a wallaby or a kangaroo up there. I'd say it's a wallaby in this area. Just shot off across there. I saw some tracks for them before. Don't think I'm probably making too much noise to see it close up. I like to show a nice tree. That is a cracker. Look at the roots on that thing. Not as big as the last one I just showed you. It splits in two. I'm guessing there's a strangler fig on that, I'm guessing. You can see where it just comes around the side here. Yeah. Pretty nice. There's a cracker of a vine. Look at this one. Twisty old one behind there going up in the trees. Oh, Tarzan have had a field day here. So you hear lots of noises in here all the time. Just things crashing and birds, and there's a whip bird there. And there's like a real bellowing sort of noise I keep hearing, which I think is some sort of a pigeon. There's actually a parrot up there. Can't really see it, it's just up there. You might see the tree moving. Or is it? Oh no, it might be a catbird actually. Yeah, I think it's a catbird. Yeah, it's quite a green bird. There's heaps of birds. Ah, there's a parrot just flying over there. I'm not sure what type that was. Oh yeah, there's a few birds. It's quite a lively little bit of woodland. This is where some see wallabies in there. I heard them crashing around. It can be a bit unnerving when you're walking along and you just hear things crashing about in the bushes. It's quite open here. A lot of grass type stuff. What I would reckon would be snake country, but I might be wrong there. But I'm guessing that this would all be a lot more there'd be a lot more vegetation and stuff here normally, I guess. I don't know, because I've never been up here, but I suppose this is all grown back after the fires, because the ground's really clean in between all this lot. I guess it's just probably all burnt, all the loose leaf and stuff like that. So this is what's called a timber Gingka. So this would have pulled out timber from this area. This area was logged for about 70 years apparently, up until about the 50s I think. So this is just part of it. There'd have been another bit that went along there, and another set of wheels like this. The timber would have sat on here. I don't know whether there's some like holes in there. Maybe they would have just strapped it onto there somehow, roped it on. Didn't have straps in those days, I guess. But yes, that would have been taken out for railway timber and sleepers, I guess, and furniture manufacture. So, but they've stopped that now, so it's good. I love the way these old, what looks like a dead tree really. I love the way they're just, I say, bleached by the sun. Just almost white there, where they're catching the sun. Quite like the old trees actually. As you might have noticed, I seem to film a lot of them. So you can see on this tree all the The bark's actually starting to peel off where it's been burnt. It's all laying on the ground here. And just like a new tree under there, regenerating. It's pretty good. There's another one over there doing it as well, bigger one. All the timber, just all the old bark that's burnt, just peeling off like a new tree again. I'm repeating myself too. So we've come down to this little parking area here. So there's a four-wheel drive track comes up there. So you can actually come up with your four-wheel drive, and I guess you can park in here. So you can, this is a horse riding track here, call it that sign there. And so I guess people can bring the old horses up here in a, I don't know if you get a horse box up there, horse float, but I don't know, I guess you can. But so we're heading this way. It's obviously opening out quite a bit now. We're going to a place called Governor's Lookout, which is where back in the old days apparently the governor used to stop, and when they used to come over the over Spicers Gap, which is basically a gap in the mountains, they used to stop and rest at the top there, and there's a good lookout apparently, so I'm going to carry on along here and have a look at that. And I think then it's just back along the dirt track, like the dirt road back to the car. So we'll go and see what this lookout's like. So this had been the original road coming through Spicers Gap, heading over to Warwick, I guess. When it rained, the water would have come down here, straight down this hill onto this track, and possibly eroded some of it away. So what I did was, I don't know if you can see that, they built these like little humps called Woa Buoys. There's quite a few of them along this track. They would have helped direct the water. So they were like a method of drainage. I don't know if you can see that, just humps up there. They reckon they were named because when the horses would have come up here, the guy in charge of the horses would have called "Whoa boy," and that's where they got their name from apparently. So there we go, there's a bit of history for you. So here we have it. This is Governor's Chair Lookout. A few mountains, a few little mountains here, little hills. Not sure what that one is right in the distance. I think that might be Mount Barney. That's a pretty big undertaking, that mountain. That's about a 10-hour day I think for that. But yeah, it's a cracking lookout this. Lake Mugra. Around about there somewhere, I can't really see properly. So this was named after the first Governor General, I think it was, to Australia. So Governor General is the Queen's representative in Australia. I think that was back in 1854, I think. And allegedly he used to stop here on his way over the gap here and have a rest, which not a bad place to stop and have a rest. I'll be having a sandwich in a minute. However usual, tuna with bread. Mexican style. It's bloody lovely. Oh, it's not very comfortable there. It's better. Just going to have a quick look over the edge. It's a little bit windy. So that was the Governor's Chair lookout. You can actually drive up here, as you can see, but it's the track's a little bit rough. They say you can drive up in a normal car, but to be honest, I think you would you might be scraping the bottom in some places on this track. I left my car further down, probably a couple of kilometres down this track. That's where we've just come down before we went to the lookout. So I think it's nicer just to do the whole circuit and take in that, nearly fell over there, and take in that lookout on the way back. So just a walk now, just back along this little dirt track. So this, probably the best thing in Wye for walking, I reckon. Absolutely cracking. It's got a big water bladder, 2 litres in the back there, and you just suck through the old pipe. Saves to keep having to stop and take your water bottle out, and you can just chuck it in the fridge the night before, keep it cool, chuck ice in it. I think you can even freeze it, to be honest, but I've never really found I need to do that. Nearly fell over again. Yeah, so that's my recommendation, buy one of them. It's quite a pleasant walk back down this road actually. It's a bit better than I thought it'd be. Quite nice. Quite quiet. There's been the old car come past, which has chucked up a whole heap of dust. Luckily they've slowed down when they've gone past me there. So I'm back home now. Just realised that I forgot to end that video because my battery ran out on my camera. So I know why I was so worn out now, because I'm not feeling well today, so I guess I was coming down with something, that's why I was huffing and puffing so much. But I'm just editing the video now, and just thought I'd make this just to end it. So that's the end.